Guys, Deluded Gooner. Now, anyone that knows me or see my social media knows the importance, as well as the Christmas period, the importance I place on seeing where we are at the end of end of January, beginning of February. Now, we lost to Watford. We find ourselves Groundhog Day. We need to go to Chelsea on Saturday, get something out of that. We win, we close the gap. We lose, you might as well just call the league a day. Now let's get into it. Not to go over our season again. I've done it in videos before. August was a joke. September to November, we were winning. Went on an undefeated run since the last game in August. Well, not last game against Liverpool. Sorry, painted over the cracks quite simply. You heard is the new Arsenal backup. We got a new mentality. We're playing winnable games. Fair enough, we're winning the winnable games. But there were still errors in our play. We were still doing a lot of comedy stuff and we were getting results. Now let's go to November. November, we all know the crucial period of November for an Arsenal fan is cursed. We had our injuries as you would expect and whatnot. We had 3 games. PSG, Spurs, United. We drew all of them. On paper, that's not bad. Arsenal fans who will take draws in them games because there's been games when them sort of games we've lost them in the past in dramatic fashion. But we could have won them. All of them games were winnable if we turned up, especially the United game. The United game, Jenkinson was our best player on the pitch and Giroud had to save us. PSG, we just didn't turn up. Spurs, we let ourselves down. And they were the chance. In a season, you have to make a statement. I'm talking about the players. They have to make a statement. And to win them sort of games are the games you have to win from me. And we didn't even play convincingly in them games. But yeah, we get out of that. November's finished. December, we go on a decent run. We're doing our thing, handling our business. Unfortunately, I believe the same week we had a Christmas party. 2 crucial away games in the league. Now everybody knows we bottled it against Everton. We bottled it against City. So when you look at it, and we bottled it against Watford, Bournemouth away, and the 2 games I've listed, you've got to think what is going on with late kickoffs and midweek evening games for us. We don't seem to be able to switch on or have an ability to switch on. These are all winnable games. That was comedy versus Bournemouth. And even if we look at things like the FA Cup, Preston gave us a good game in January. So we have not been playing well, in my opinion. And like I said, to lose these games from winnable positions and to go and put in a performance in these sort of games are what defines the season. There's 38 games. All of my videos I say 38 games. It's going to come down to there's going to be about 4 defining games where we can't play Wenger ball, where we can't do what we normally do. Where we're going to have our backs against the wall. Where we have to grind out performances, and we haven't shown that in the league. Champions League, fine, we're undefeated, whatnot. We've still bottled some games in the Champs, like against PSG, both games. But yeah, and then we've lost to Watford, and we now find ourselves with a mountain to climb. And in regards to the Chelsea game on the weekend, what I want to see more than anything is some sort of reaction, courage, fight, desire, that they know the club they have to play for. Arsene Wenger, I've always said his biggest strength and weakness is that he backs these players, because I feel backing a lot of these players, footballers are not held accountable enough in life, in football life in general, in my opinion. So what Wenger does, through backing them, it is a good thing, but it's a terrible thing at the same time because it allows them to carry on being complacent, keep up their old habits, and not put in a performance as you've seen. And quite simply, they're just not paying the faith of you, and they're not respecting the fans. So I want to see some courage. They know what it means to play for the club. I can take losing. No one likes to lose, don't get me wrong, I hate losing. But what I can't take is comedy. When Arsenal lose, why is it always some sort of comedy to our loss? We always capitulate, or players are just being silly and we're conceding comedy goals. If we lose, let's go down fighting. Let's put some pride back onto the shirt. I don't know what it is, but what do these players do? Do they have any idea the club they signed for? Do the previous legends speak? Did the board tell them? And I know Wenger tells them they should be forced to watch videos. Because it's too easy to play for Arsenal. We're a social club, and we're seeing what we're made of now. Obviously, we can't draw too many conclusions in February, but it doesn't look good. We have a mountain to climb. We're relying on other people to drop points. So yeah, we shouldn't be in this. And you would have thought, especially in regards to what happened last year, seeing all the big boys drop points, seeing how we threw the league away, the boys would have this in mind, but they're still being silly. Now, at the start of the season, I said Arsene Wenger should sign a new deal. I still believe there's a case to sign a new deal, especially in regards to off the field. That's not for this video, but I feel even if that does happen, if he signs or he doesn't, regardless, a lot of these players, and I think a lot of these players have reached the end of the cycle. We need, like, something has to change. And I feel even if a new manager comes, to a degree, some of these players will still have these silly habits. Obviously, if a new manager comes, he'll be slightly more ruthless, but the penny has to drop with some of these players. You didn't have to tell Henry, etc., what it meant to play for these clubs, because these all Adams, all of these people came from backgrounds that weren't privileged, where they had to fight and show courage, and it reflected when they played football. Sadly, Arsenal, we've got highly intelligent, technically great footballers, but I've always said they're not smart and they don't know how to fight, because none of them are ingrained in fight. None of them have had to fight for anything. They've all been in this academy bubble. They haven't had to fight. And on top of that, they've come to Arsenal, one of the biggest clubs in the world, where you're pampered and you feel good. So it's created an air of mediocre mediocrity, and where failure's all right. Like, this is Arsenal. We're a big club. If you can't take it, you need to do something. But not to go off task, people. Groundhog Day Saturday, February assessment, end of Feb, start of Feb. Sorry, like I always do. Yeah, but yeah, like, we just need some courage and some fight against Chelsea. That's all I want to see, and just restore some bit of pride from now to the end of the season. But it's Delu De Guna signing out. Yeah, not much to say.